Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to do my sinking fund video and talk about everything that's going into our sinking funds for the month of March. As always, because of the fact that I'm doing this so early, not really that early compared to normal, this is actually kind of late. I don't know quite yet what my ending February numbers will be, so I won't have my beginning, but I'm gonna go ahead and set it all up and put in what we're adding to our sinking funds for this month, and then I'll fill in the rest later. If you guys want to see what our sinking funds look like with numbers, with the beginning numbers filled in, the ending numbers, definitely check out my weekly check-in pages. Or my weekly check-in videos. Recently, for the last month or so, I have been doing my weekly check-in and then showing what our sinking funds are doing. So what's going in, what's going out, all of that fun stuff. So definitely check out those videos if you want to see more detailed explanations of how we're using our sinking funds. So today I'm going to use my kits. I did open up an Etsy shop in the end of December. And so I do sell a bunch of different budget stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and use these for setting up my sinking fund and transaction pages. I will have everything. I will have my shop link down below if you want to check it out. And I will be releasing April's kits within the next couple days. So if they're not already up, then within like a day or so. I've been working so that I want to get like a good base inventory done so that you guys don't really have to wait. Once you place an order, it can get out pretty quickly, but that takes time, and I have been studying for the CPA, so I'm a little bit behind with that, but I'm hoping that I can start getting these out more timely. So I really like having a kit for my budget because it just makes it simple. I don't have to write everything out. I legit just stick everything down and we're good to go. So we have that. I'm gonna go ahead and put the total at the bottom. I probably don't need all of this space. Let me see. Let's see. Here's my sinking fund page. So last time I could go up a couple, so I'm gonna do that this time. I want to have a little bit of extra space because then I can add some cute thin washi at the bottom. So anyway, nothing super exciting in terms of sinking funds. We're not adding any this month, which is different. I swear I've added a new sinking fund like every single month for the past, well, it's been a lot of months. But we're not doing it this month. The only big things kind of going on this month are that we are going on vacation. We're gonna go visit my sister in Florida, so we will be using our vacation fund. And so that's gonna be the major thing kind of going on. I will also have to start prepping for Go Wild at some point. I have not bought my flight yet. Today is the 26th. I bought our flights for Florida today, and we're going on the 13th. So and we got pretty good decent flights. Like I don't think I'll show you what we spent just yet because I won't be transferring that information over right now, but we got 2 or 3 round trip flights to like the Fort Lauderdale area. And we got it, like I said, round trip, no stops. We got a carry-on included, and it was like $600. So not bad at all. I mean, I have paid so much money to go to Florida in the past to visit my sister, so I am really happy with that. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put the category in. I'm gonna put the addition column. I'm gonna fill that in, but then beginning will not be filled in because I don't know what the ending amounts for February will be quite yet. So let's go ahead and put everything in. Our first category is beauty, and this just includes my like face wash, my makeup, all of that. And we're going to add $30 to that. Next is car insurance. Our car insurance did we did pay our car insurance for the next 6 months in February. I think that's gonna come out in the next couple of days, but that was like $850. So we've been really good at estimating what that's going to be. I think we have a couple $100 extra left in that. So I'm gonna leave the car insurance amount the same. There are a couple of things that might happen during the summer that might influence our car insurance fund. So I'm not gonna change that up. I'm gonna leave a little buffer in that sinking fund. And then for car maintenance, I'm going to put in $30. I don't foresee needing this month, but I know at some point soon my car is gonna need like a 5,000 mile oil change, so I just wanna have a little bit of money put away for that. Then car tags, which might sound weird if you're not from Illinois, but we have to have like little stickers every year. And so I put away $17 every month for both mine and Jason's cars. And then we have our cell phones, which again might also sound weird, but we do have a cell phone plan with Jason's family. And it's kind of nice because it's a family plan. It's really cheap for us. It's $50 per month. But we usually pay like a month, or we usually pay like 6 months in advance or a year in advance. So I just keep the money in a sinking fund so that when his mom gives us a bill, it's all good to go. For Christmas, we have been putting some money away for Christmas just so that we're prepared. I did do this a little bit in last year. I did do a little bit of this last year, but I didn't feel like we were that prepared. Like we were adding quite a bit of money to it every month, so for the last couple months. So I'm gonna try and just add like $50 a month going forward, and hopefully by the end we'll be in good shape. Next, clothes for Jason, Macy, and myself. Jason, I like to keep these split so that not one of us overdoes it, because surprisingly I thought that I would be the one using mine the most, and Jason really does use his clothes budget a lot more than me, which is good. I'm glad that he uses it. So for me and Jason this month, we're gonna get $20. For Macy, we're going to give $50, and that's because there are a couple resales that we're gonna be going to this weekend. And so I'm hoping that we can stock up on some really nice summer or spring clothes for her. Our first line of attack for clothes for her are normally the resales, and then anything that I can't find there, we normally like try and use gift cards that we have from like birthdays or stuff or anything like that. And then last case scenario, we go to Target and buy shorts for like $5 or something. It's not that big of a deal, but I try and go as cheap as I can, because honestly, she goes through clothes so fast and it's just not worth spending a ton of money on new clothes for her. So for diapers, I'm putting $20 in there. At some point, I might just change this to a Macy fund to include like body wash, stuff like that. But as of right now, she's pretty much potty trained. Again, it's just the one thing that she's not doing well on. And I've talked about that a lot, so I'm gonna stop talking about her number twos, because I think people probably don't want to hear any more about that. Then our next category is entertainment, and we have been loving having this category in our budget. We use this for a couple different things. We use entertainment when me and Jason are going on a date night. We use it when me, Jason, and Macy are gonna go do a fun activity. And then we also sometimes use it when we're all going to go do an activity with friends. I guess that's kind of the same thing, but we've been using it quite a bit recently to go to the movies, and it's really nice not having to think about it. Like we don't overdo it at all, but if our friends are like, oh, let's go see the new Dragon Tales movie, I don't even know if that's what it's called, we don't have to think about it. It's like, we have our entertainment budget, like let's go. So we've been really loving that. So I'm gonna put $100 in that, and that's mostly because I think in February I didn't give us enough. So I'm hoping that will cover some of our extra stuff that we did in February. Next is our family pictures. And I talked about this before, but we did not get our family pictures done this past month or this past year. And that's just because it didn't work out with timing with our photographer. So I think we're gonna try and do like a spring or summer one. So we're just still adding to that. For Go Wild, I put away $250, and that's really any planner conference. It's not specific to Go Wild. I used it for the Chicago Planner Conference. So again, not specific to that, but that's kind of what I've left it as. And then we do have a home maintenance category, but I've talked about this before. We keep like an envelope of money, and I'm not including that here because I like to keep that separate. But if there's ever a time where we want to include that and put away extra money, I want to have a placeholder to remind myself. Then we have Jason's medications, and I've talked about this before too, but Jason does have a heart condition which requires him to be on medication. I think he'll be on medication the rest of his life. I mean, it is scary, but it's not like he's fine right now. But we put away $38 every month for that because he has a 3-month prescription, and it's like $100, a little bit over $100 every time we have to fill it. So instead of having to have like a random $100, you know, not medical bill, but prescription bill, we just put a little bit of put a little bit of money away every month. That way it's even. It's evened out over the 3 months that we are saving for it. Then we do have a medical category, and this includes any medical bills we may have. We do have really good insurance through my work. I'm pretty sure each person's out-of-pocket maximum for the year is like $1,500. And my deductible every year is like $750. So it's really good. But with Jason and his heart and everything like that, we're trying to put away some money into that category just to be safe, so that when and if something happens, we have money set aside. So I've been putting $250 in that sinking fund, and I think that's going to be good. At some point I might dramatically increase how much we're putting in there, but for right now I think that's okay. Next we have our pool passes, which I'm pretty sure in April is when we're going to be buying them. So we've been putting $15 away every month, and that will be enough to cover mine, Jason, and Macy's pool passes for the summer. I think if you pay for them in April though, you get like a pretty good discount. So I try and take any discount that I possibly can. So we're gonna buy them in April, although we probably won't use them until like the beginning of June. Next are tolls, and again, this might be like a Chicago, Illinois type of thing, but we do have iPasses, and or you could just pay with cash with regular tolls or whatever. But I'm putting $40 in there. We're still getting bills for tolls from the trip that my brother and Jason took to go pick up my sister's furniture, and I think our iPass just wasn't working right. So normally we wouldn't need to put $40 into our tolls. I think $20 max per month is probably around what we should expect. But again, we're getting caught up on that since they're still billing us for when our iPass wasn't working. Not a big deal. We still get the rate that we should have gotten, but it's just a matter of just figuring out, you know, where it all applies to. I don't know. It's annoying, but it's all right. Next is our trash, and we do have a couple utilities in our sinking funds. One of them is trash, and we put away $26. I believe our trash is $75 or $76 every, maybe it's 78 now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, every 3 months we pay our trash, and then we also have water in here. You'll see that in a second. But those two are not monthly bills, and so I decided to put them in our sinking funds just again to smooth our budget a little bit. For vacation, I'm putting away $185. I've been putting away $185 in our vacation fund since I started planning for mine and Jason's vacation last year, and that's kind of just stuck. I don't know if that's going to be enough, if that's going to be too much when we, you know, in terms of vacation. We'll kind of see, and maybe after we go visit my sister, we'll adjust that. We'll see. And then the last thing that we have is our water. Like I said, we pay every 2 months. And I've been putting away $45, but we have a pretty good we have a pretty good surplus in there right now. We just paid our water bill in February, and I think we still have like $80 in there. So I'm just putting 30, and I'm hoping like over time we'll kind of level out a little bit in that category. So those are all of our sinking funds, quite a bit. One thing that I wanted to mention, and I talked about this in another video, but we did not start off having a whole page of sinking funds. When we first started, I'm pretty sure I had 2 or 3 sinking funds, and we've just added over time. I was really skeptical about sinking funds at first because I didn't like the fact that a lot of these things were either like you didn't know when they were going to happen, you didn't know what the amount was going to be. I like things to be like black and white. I like to know the amount, I like to know the timing of things, and I want it to work out that way. Unfortunately, it does not work out that way, and I've learned to accept that, but sinking funds definitely helps smooth those things from happening. So for example, beauty, every month I don't need to buy makeup or I don't need to buy face wash, but when I do, it's like $80 something. So instead of having to shell out did I say $80,000? I meant $80. Instead of having to like every couple months or every 3 months put $80 extra into our budget, it makes more sense to add a couple, add $20, add $30 every month and have it smooth. A lot of those categories are like that. Again, it's not like a set thing. I don't know when I'm gonna need clothes. I don't know how much it's going to be, but having that money set aside is nice because then you don't have to think like, oh crap, we're gonna be over budget because I didn't realize I was gonna need new socks or something. So hopefully that makes sense. Our total for sinking funds for this month was $1,413. So I did do a video recently all about sinking funds, how like my opinion of them, all of that really fun stuff that I seem to get a lot of questions about. So if you want to check them out, also check out Jen Plans. She does a lot of videos, or she did a lot of videos about sinking funds, and so I feel like she covers it pretty well if you have questions and all of that. So our sinking funds are on this page, and then over here I like to have our transaction log, and this just really covers anything that goes out of our sinking funds. And the way that I do it, I talked about this in that video as well, but the way that I do it is I true it up every month. So we use our normal credit, our normal debit card for whatever we're buying, and then at the end of the month I take all of the money that I spent from our sinking funds and I true that up with our bank account. Nothing fancy, honestly, but it just works for us that way to do it, once a month. But if you want to transfer the money right away, you can totally do that. We always have a buffer in our checking account, so I never have to worry about the timing and stuff of that. I've had a lot of questions about that as well, how we were able to get a buffer, and honestly, it's just my goal every month is just to save as much as we possibly can. So I don't know if you're in a tight situation, that might not be as possible, but I've always, like, even when I was in high school and college and stuff, I've always had a buffer to cover at least like a couple of my bills for the next month. So anyway, that is our, you know what? I'm losing it, guys. I need to draw my lines over here. So again, I'm not crazy about the lines being perfect. And then with this transaction log, I have a space for the date, for the amount, for the category. So these would be the categories here. And then just a brief description of what it was for. So for example, when we bought our flights in February, I put vacation fund. It was like $650, and then description, flights. Just so that when you're going back, you know why you spent that money. A lot of times, like, you're like, oh, I'll remember that. And then you go back and you're like, I have no idea why I spent $600. Like, why would I do that? And I like doing that for like other things too, especially like the clothes thing for Jason. There's been a couple times where I'm like, Jason, you spent your, you have no clothes budget in our sinking funds right now. And he's like, what do you mean? I should be getting $20 per month. And I'm like, yeah, but you bought a shirt, you bought, oh, it's snowing out right now. You bought a shirt, you bought, you know, whatever else. And so keeping that description is also good for that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my sinking fund video for March. Again, if you want to check out my shop and all of my stickers, definitely go check it out. I'll have a link down below. But other than that, check out my video tomorrow when I will stuff all my cash clips, and I will also set up some of my other trackers. So I definitely need to do my weekly check-in page and my variable income as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.